Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a modern mystery that's literally right at the intersection of tech, human behavior, and our everyday work. We're looking at a fantastic new analysis by Chris Parsons on what he calls the AI productivity paradox. We're going to unpack a massive real-world healthcare case study, look at the data, and try to solve a riddle that pretty much every AI-using organization is about to crash into. So buckle up, because we are hunting down some missing time.
Okay, to really grasp the scale of this mystery, let's look at this number, 505,000. NHS England is currently doing the biggest rollout of Microsoft 365 Copilot in healthcare, period. They're giving this AI tool to over 500,000 clinicians and support staff. This isn't just some tiny, isolated pilot in a controlled lab. It is a massive, systemic shift in how hundreds of thousands of people actually do their daily jobs.
And this rollout comes on the heels of a massive pilot program. They tested this with 30,000 folks across the NHS. And here's the crazy part. Participants in that pilot saved an average of 43 minutes a day on admin tasks. I mean 43 minutes! In a healthcare system that's already stretched to the absolute limit, that is huge. If you multiply that across the whole workforce, the potential opportunity is just staggering.
But, and this is the critical question we're solving today, where do those 43 minutes actually go? Does that saved time magically transform into seeing more patients? Are the waiting lists getting shorter? Or does it just vanish into thin air, totally swallowed up by a workload that's already overflowing? As the author points out, just because you made one person faster doesn't actually mean you know where that saved time went.
Which brings us to the core concept here, the AI productivity paradox. It basically happens when a piece of tech demonstrably makes an individual task way faster, like, say, drafting an email, but you don't actually see any visible improvement in the whole organization's capacity or the quality of service. We love to throw around the word productivity, but doing a familiar task faster is just task efficiency. It doesn't automatically mean we've unlocked additional usable capacity for the team.
All right, let's dive right into suspect number one in our mystery, the illusion of gross savings.
We really need to untangle the difference between the time it takes an AI to spit out a draft and the time it takes a human to actually finish the whole task. Think about gross time saved. Say an AI drafts a report in 5 minutes that used to take you 40. Wow, it feels like you just saved 35 minutes, right? Well, not exactly. We have to look at net time released. If you still have to spend 25 minutes reviewing and tweaking that 5-minute AI draft, your actual meaningful savings is only 10 minutes. Gross savings are definitely not net savings.
So, where did those other 25 minutes go? They get completely swallowed up by what we call the verification tax. AI drafts are almost never finished products. You still have to find your source info, figure out the right prompt, read the whole output, vigorously fact-check it, fix the tone, and get it approved. And here's the kicker. In high-stakes fields like healthcare, where AI can confidently make things up, human oversight isn't optional, it's mandatory. The real question isn't how fast the AI typed it out, it's how much total human effort it took to make it trustworthy.
Now, even if we survive the verification tax and secure those 10 net minutes, we aren't out of the woods. Moving right along to suspect number 2, the capacity conversion problem. To figure out why saving a few minutes here and there totally fails to translate into real power for an organization, the author points out 5 distinct conversion traps. We've got fragmented time, demand absorption, changing expectations, moving bottlenecks, and personal versus organizational benefit. Let's see how these literally eat up our time.
Trap number 1 is fragmented time. You save 10 minutes on an email, maybe 7 minutes summarizing a meeting, and 8 minutes on a draft. Statistically, sure, that adds up. But in reality, those little scattered chunks of time throughout a chaotic day do not magically glue themselves together into a nice, clean 30-minute block that a manager can suddenly use to schedule a new patient appointment. The time is saved, but its shape is completely fragmented.
Then we have trap number 2, demand absorption. In a system like the NHS, where demand is already through the roof, working faster doesn't actually reduce your workload. It just acts like a giant sponge. It uncovers all that deferred, unmet demand. You clear your inbox faster and boom, more requests instantly pour into the system. So the counterintuitive thing here is that the worker is way more efficient, but they feel absolutely no less busy.
And that feeds perfectly into trap number 3, the ratchet effect. Think about this in your own job. If AI helps you generate a document twice as fast, what happens? Your boss isn't going to say, great, take the afternoon off. No, they'll just assume making documents is super easy now and start expecting twice as many of them.
Yesterday's amazing efficiency just becomes today's standard expectation. The gain just turns into more volume.
Trap number 4 is moving bottlenecks. Making one step faster usually just pushes the pressure to the next step. Imagine an AI helps a doctor write a patient referral in 2 minutes instead of 10. Sounds awesome, right? But if the specialist receiving those referrals doesn't have any extra capacity to actually see those patients, all you've done is make their waitlist grow 20% faster. Speeding up the front of the line just creates a massive traffic jam downstream.
And finally, trap number 5, mixing up personal benefit with organizational benefit. Look, if AI helps a stressed-out clinician finish their paperwork so they can actually go home at 5 p.m., that has immense, genuine value. We absolutely shouldn't treat staff well-being as just a way to extract more output. However, management cannot turn around and claim those same saved minutes as a cash-releasing saving or brand-new organizational capacity. You simply can't count the same minute twice.
Which perfectly sets up the main thesis of this entire analysis. Time saved is valuable, but it is not, by itself, value created. The evidence is clear. AI can definitely make tasks faster, but the real value of those 43 minutes completely depends on whether that time is net of all the fact-checking, whether it's in a usable block, and whether it actually improves the whole service instead of just pushing the stress onto someone else down the line.
So, I want to leave you with a question to chew on next time you use AI in your own work. As we shave all these minutes off our daily tasks, if we can't actually explain where that saved time went, have we truly created value, or are we just spinning the hamster wheel faster? Think about that the next time a new tool promises to save you an hour a day. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the data.